We're back doing Bougie on a Budget, my new series, and it's perfect for January. Money is tight, and who doesn't love a quality drugstore item? Doesn't it feel like you're sticking it to the man when you get something from the drugstore, which is a great value, but it looks high end? This is a whole face of L'Oreal today, and I'm gonna replicate the looks that I saw at the Golden Globes 2024. I'm glad you're here. Hi, welcome back to my channel. I'm Michelle Spieler, an over 25-year professional makeup artist. I worked in Hollywood. I know how to make people look good on high def, and I know how to make you look good close up. I'm gonna do skincare right now, so the hair's gonna look crazy for a minute, and then we will move on to our topic today, which is Soft Glam, aka the Golden Globes 2024 makeup, using all L'Oreal, because this is my Bougie on a Budget series. Money is tight in January, and I want to help you all look and feel high-end and luxury and gorgeous using drugstore. Okay, so L'Oreal sent this to me probably in the summer, and I never used it. I just have so much. I get so much in the mail from brands. But someone asked me last week if I had tried this and what I thought, and I thought, oh, perfect. This is the perfect time to try this. So this is the Bright Reveal 12% hyaluronic acid serum, and it's nice, but it's high in fragrance. So I'm gonna let you know, I can smell it big time. I can really, really smell it. I want more for my neck. But the sunscreen is impressive. It's not cheap, but sunscreens, as you have probably seen, are going up and up because they're probably the most important part of our beauty regimen. I mean, what good is wearing retinol and vitamin C and moisturizer, all the things, if we're not protecting our skin every day with SPF? I'm also the creator of Mature Makeup Masterclass. You can always check out that video. It's under 2 minutes, but I explain why I created it, who it's for. It's for you if you're over 35. So go check that out. There's always a link in my description. This is the Bright Reveal SPF 50. It is really, really nice. And I'm not going outdoors today, but I'm by these big windows. And because SPF is such a part of my daily skincare, even if I'm home all day, I wear this every day. I never want to forget. I never want my SPF to be an afterthought. It's very much a part of my everyday. And remember, 2 finger lengths are the amount you're supposed to use. So I probably used 1.5. I'm going to use a little bit more up here on my forehead. Again, not going anywhere today. I might run to the post office later, but I'm really not going anywhere today. But I always have SPF on. I always do my neck. They always say, rub up, rub up, rub up. Well, all right. Sometimes I rub down. And then whatever's left over, I put on my hands. My hands are so neglected. My friend on TikTok, she's a TikTok friend. Her name's Teresa Collins. She had a lower facelift. I'm sorry, not a lower. She had the full facelift a month before mine, so I followed her journey. But she just got a facelift on her hands, and her hands look phenomenal. I think it was about $5,000, and they went in with fat transfer. I think they might have like lasered her hands and went in with fat transfer, and her hands look young and plump and pretty again. She's my age. She's about mid-50s. But I don't care. I don't know. Guess what I do care about? Where's Dr. Pepper? Where are they? I need them to sponsor me. Okay. So I have that on, and I like to wait just a couple minutes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take out this crazy hair, and then we're going to come back and start primer and makeup. Cute. Just gives you that. I didn't even have to tease my hair. They just give you a little bit of volume. And then I follow a guy. I found him on TikTok. He teaches you how to cut curtain bangs. And so I did it in, I think December or maybe around Thanksgiving weekend. I did his technique, but I cut long bangs, like really long fringe. Well, just now when I showered and washed my hair today, I'm like, ooh, I want shorter curtain bangs for this video today. I don't know why, I just had a wild hair. And so you can see how much shorter they are, but I like how it frames my face. You can always see my video over on Instagram or TikTok, or follow Wayne Tuggle, Tuggle. He's from North Carolina, and I'm so disappointed I didn't know him and go see him when I lived in North Carolina, because now I'm in Nashville, Tennessee. But he's great. And I'm not going to do a tutorial here on YouTube on how to cut your own curtain bangs, because I never want to be responsible for you screwing up your hair. So just, that's why I'm telling you, go watch him. He's really, really good. He's so good. Okay, I feel like I have a little bit of sunscreen on my lips. Okay, we're gonna get started with L'Oreal makeup, and we're doing Soft Glam. So L'Oreal has these new primers, and by new I mean probably they came out last year. They're called Prime Labs. There is the redness one, and these really work because we used to use these on men who had rosacea at ESPN. We would use the Smashbox green one, and it really works. And then there is the matte setter. So this has a little bit of salicylic acid in it. This is excellent for if you are oily and you feel like makeup completely drinks in all your skin drinks in all your makeup. This is great. And then we have the pore minimizer, which I'm going to use because I want some minimized pores. And I've never used this before. I don't use much. It's thick. We don't need much. We're going to just put it where we have noticeable pores. That's it. Easy. Okay, I'm doing a little bit more, but you saw how little I used. Like, that's not even 1/4 of a teaspoon. That's maybe 1/8 of a teaspoon. I'm just going where I have noticeable pores. I really coat the side of the nose there. Okay. Now, while I let that absorb in, I am gonna go to, do you wanna know something? Doggone it. L'Oreal did not have powder, so I will not be using L'Oreal powder today. And I'm bummed because I really wanted to do the entire face with only L'Oreal, but they did not have powder. They had pressed powders that all had a color to them, and I only used translucent. The minute you use a powder that has color in it, like it could be 1C, 2C, 3C, which is cool, 1 warm, 2 warm, 3 warm, which is warm. The minute you use a powder over your foundation that has color in it, you immediately change the color of your foundation. We don't want to do that. That's why we love to do just good old-fashioned translucent. It sets the makeup. Anyway, here's what I did get. I'm so excited. I cannot tell you how many times I've been to the drugstore, tried to get a L'Oreal brow pencil and never could. And I was floored when they had it in stock. So I'm gonna take this L'Oreal Brow Stylist Definer. As you know, I like the nano tiny pencils. So it's tiny, just like my Maybelline one, right? I'll lower it a little bit so it doesn't break. And I like to do brows first because I find the pencil lead sticks better to nude powdered skin. Once you have that emollient foundation on your face, I find that the pencils don't want to adhere. And, you know, you could use a brow shadow, you could use a brow pomade, you could use just a tinted brow gel, but I am just very much a brow pencil. I love brow pencils. I think they're easy. I love using them on people in my chair. I can control how dark. They don't look fuzzy and furry close up. Sometimes if you use a powder shadow in your eyebrows, close up it can look like little caterpillars. I used to always use an eyeshadow from MAC in my brows, and one time I was probably about 36 and a girl came up, and you know, I was under some really weird, you know, fluorescent lighting, and a younger girl came up. I was 36, she was maybe late 20s, and she's like, ew, what's wrong with your eyebrows? They look like caterpillars. And I looked in the mirror, and sure enough, they looked really fluffy, and you could see the powder coating the hair, and that was it. I never used a powder really ever again in my brows. I really like to stick to a pencil because they look so pretty close up. Then you can go in, and that's why I love anything with a little spoolie attached to it, because you can go in and brush it, and now it just kind of lightens what you just did, kind of breaks it up and lightens it in some areas. And I just think this looks the most natural on not only myself, but women in my chair. Okay, let's see. Yeah, so the brows at the Golden Globes were definitely a little bit darker, thicker, and heavier, but they were soft. They weren't like super defined. They were very, very soft, kind of like this. And I loved it. I absolutely loved the brows on Margot Robbie, Emma Stone, Jennifer Aniston, J-Lo, Selena Gomez, Michelle Yeoh, you know, these women. Brows were definitely kind of the star of the face. And so we're gonna do that today. So that's why I'm using a slightly darker. Normally I go with a blonde pencil, but I'm finding if I want it to look more like little tiny hairs, I have to kind of go with a cool medium brown to kind of draw in the natural hair. And I've always had darker brows than my hair, although you can see my natural hair colors right here. Like, I always said that I was natural soft. I always thought I was a soft brunette, and people would say no, like hairstylists will go, no, you're actually like a dark dishwater blonde. So I don't know, but I'm a level 7. Whether that's a soft brunette or a blonde, I don't know, but here we are. Okay, and then next I'm going to do eyes before I do complexion. And what I loved about the eyes at the Golden Globes is you did not see defined eyeliner. If you looked close up, it was smudgy, and there wasn't heavy eyeshadow. It was a lot of emphasis on lashes, which is why I have my Lilac Street. These are espresso, and I have 10 millimeter, 12, 12, 14, 14. And they just look really feathery. They're a little spiky, but in a soft, feathery way. And I love this, and tons of the celebrities at the Golden Globe and the makeup artists use Lashify, and I love Lashify. Okay, so I'm gonna go in with, I have a couple different pencils with L'Oreal, and I'm gonna see, I think I want this one because this is gonna be, I want one that's gonna smear really well. Pro Last Longwear eye pencil. Let's see. We have black. What's the difference between this black and this black? Oh, that's darker. I wonder. Okay, we're gonna do this one because it smears really well. Okay, so I need to get my BK Beauty brush. I'll put the BK Beauty link in description because you often ask, but this is the best brush in the world for smudging pencils. It's number 204, and you see how short and dense, it's real stiff. It's great for blending out pencils. So I'm lightly, very lightly, and being very careful, with this because I want to smudge it. And we're doing this first. We're doing pencil before shadow. Because again, we're going to be softening everything. And you want a pencil that really blends and softens. And that's what's happening right here. Can you see this? I now no longer have a really defined eyeliner. It's really soft and smudgy. Do you see that? It's hard with lashes. But that's what was on the Golden Globe. Every single actress was smudgy, smudgy. Also, a lot of women had only mascara on. Or perhaps their makeup artist did individual lashes. That's entirely possible too. But I like that. I like when actresses only do mascara. Not everyone has to wear fake lashes. And a lot of you out there have tried them and maybe they don't work with your hooded eyes or your aging eyes, or maybe you just don't like fussing. Oh no, we got problems with this primer or this SPF. We have problems. I'll show you in a minute. We have big problems. Big. Oh my gosh, yeah. Look at that. Something is not playing. I didn't put primer out here, so this is not the primer. This is the SPF. Wow, I'm so disappointed. So I'll tell you something. When I used these last week, I used these on a nude face and just wore them nude all day, no makeup. My stomach is going crazy. So I used these alone. They were beautiful. And when I took my, when I washed my face like 10 hours later, my skin looked really glowy and pretty. So I know these work well together, and I haven't even put makeup on, but here's what I suspect. And this is why we have to be so careful. I used a little bit of oil on my face this morning when I was doing my facial exercises. 2024 for me is the year of professional peels, neck creams, devices, facial exercises, icing, all that. So it's like I'm really trying to take my face and my skin into my own hands. I left that oil on. And normally I wash oil off because you can't, oil is almost like an occlusive. It locks everything in. And I left a little bit of that oil on. I put the serum over it. So this is my fault. This is not the product, but this is gonna cause problems when I go to put on the foundation. Golly, what a mess. Okay. Well, we're just gonna work with it. But anyway, okay, so do you see how smudgy my eyes are? And you gotta work quick because these pencils will set in about 2 minutes, okay? We'll worry about my messy skin in a minute. I'm so disappointed. Okay, now we are gonna take this beautiful shimmery silver. We're gonna smoke over it. Michelle, where are your base shadows? Michelle, where's your eye primer? We're not using any of that. We're just not. Sometimes I don't even notice a difference. Oh my gosh, that's so soft and pretty. Sometimes I don't notice a difference when I use primer on my eyes. So why put one more layer, which can create more texture. So I've really gotten away from it. See how soft that is? Look at that. There's no edges. It's just real soft. Now, I realize on camera this looks like, whoa, Michelle, I thought you said makeup was so soft at the Golden Globes. It wasn't more than this, but you have to remember when you are in a gown and your hair is done and you have bright, bright lights on the red carpet, this is going to knock back and it's going to look a little bit softer. Okay, And then I'm going to do the tiniest bit of this pretty peachy color on the center of my eyelid. It's not really a matte and it's not a shimmer. I would say it maybe has the tiniest pearl in it. It's very pretty. Yeah, I like that. And I might even put a little bit up here. Maybe a little bit. Little pearl on the inner eye. The reason I like it though, it's not too light. That's a really nice color. Okay, and then we're gonna take with a really, really fluffy brush. This is also BK Beauty 212. I'm gonna take this really pretty warm brown. And I just want the tiniest bit in my crease. I saw a lot of very soft creases, maybe a little bit of bronzer or cream bronzer. If you know how much I love Bella bronzer, I probably, if I was going to the Golden Globes, I might do a little Bella bronzer in my crease. But this is very pretty. And if when you tap a shadow and you can't feel it between your fingers, that means it's very finely milled. I don't know if you've ever tried Natasha Denona, but she has extremely finely milled shadows. And that's what you want, because then they blend really well and they look like skin. Now we can go back in with a little bit of this light color and kind of like blend all the edges so we're not really seeing where anything starts and stops. And again, do you see how soft and smoky that is? If I was in person, you would, like when I'm looking right here in the mirror, this just looks like airbrushed charcoal. It's just so, so soft. But from here, do you see how pronounced my lashes are? This is what the celebrities looked like on the red carpet. It was so soft, like you did not see any defined edges. Okay, I'll be back. Oh my gosh, you should have seen my face close up. It was a white, milky film peeling off everywhere. So I just had to take my makeup wipes. I had to take it all off and I had to rub hard because it's not fair to the next steps if I don't have that skin looking perfect. The reason why I don't cut all of that out is because I think this is real life, and how many times have we done everything properly and then we go to put on our makeup and it crumbles or pills? It's usually because a product isn't working with another product. I got lazy. I did not take oil off my face. Oil is always the last step in skincare, and I did this and then I did a water-based hyaluronic acid over it. You cannot do that. You cannot do a watery serum over an oil, and I knew that, and I just got lazy and did it anyway, and it backfired. So I took it all off, and then I just layered this only. Because I'm not going out today, I'm just not going to mess with SPF, but I've worn this a couple times now. It's absolutely beautiful. And again, at the end of the day, when I took just when I washed my face after a 10-hour day, my skin with these two still looked really, really radiant. Like not glassy or glowy, but I looked really radiant. Now, I don't think this isn't cheap. This is $32.99. This is probably even more because it's skincare, but really pretty. And if you love L'Oreal, I'm here to say it's very nice, but don't put oil on first. In fact, just skip oil at this point. Okay, I went to CVS and I bought L'Oreal Visible Lift because, you know, who doesn't need some lift at this age? So it says medium coverage. It has vitamin C, and I got shade. What shade did I get? This makes me nuts. Oh, 152 Sand Beige. You know, this just came right off, but we're gonna go with it. The thing I don't like about drugstore is I hate their packaging. I just hate it. That looks dark. We're gonna go with it. I can make it work. Okay. A nice trick that I learned from Katie Jane Hughes. So this is not my trick. I've never seen this anywhere in Hollywood. Katie Jane Hughes is a makeup artist on Instagram. She's young and beautiful. She's probably 40s now. She takes foundation and she puts it in the palm of her hand, and she takes a brush and she really swirls it around to get it on every part of the brush. And then she goes in and she swirls the brush. Now this will not work if you have tretinoin or retinol skin. So you have to be very careful with daily exfoliation, because I find swirling a product on mature skin can cause some sloughing. I'm gonna take it down the neck because it's slightly deeper, but remember, mature women, we have to go slightly deeper. If we go too light, or if we match our jawline or match our neck, it's gonna be too light all through here, and you're gonna see our texture. You're gonna see our age and our texture. So I find with this method, the brush, I will be honest, the brush eats up a lot of the product, but this way you're not putting it on heavy. And I find it takes about 2 pumps to do the whole face. So 1 pump for each side, but look at that. And then look at this side. Here's my naked side. And then look at this. Like, this technique really works. I've used it a few times now in videos, and I've even used it on the back camera, which you know is very, very harsh and unforgiving. And it's very, very pretty. Did I break this bottle? It's very possible I broke it. All right, well, we don't have time to fuss with that, but the lid won't go back on. Again, I hate drugstore packaging. Love the formulas, hate the packaging. Okay, so again, see how I'm swirling it on, but it's coated. The whole brush is like, everything in the brush is coated so well. Don't forget to kind of push it up into your hairline a little bit, especially if you're going to be doing any type of photography for special occasions. Don't forget to put a tiny bit on your ears if it's a darker shade than what you need. And then never forget to take it down the neck. Never forget the ear. Try to do that before you have jewelry on, though. You don't want makeup all over your jewelry. And then whatever is just left on the brush, I'm just kind of taking down here. That looks airbrushed. That looks airbrushed. Look, I can barely see my sunspots. Oh, so pretty. And I like the finish. It's kind of natural, radiant. It's not glowy. It's not dewy. It's not matte. And again, this is the visible lift. So it's in that whole, you know, the L'Oreal kind of ageless formula where they have the mature, like Helen Mirren and everyone. Okay, so let me look at it close up. Pretty. Now I have a little bit of texture through here. I do. So I'm going to take my fingers and I'm going to kind of blend it out. But can I live with this for a special occasion? Yes. I can live with that for a special occasion. I feel like I didn't get any right here. Isn't that pretty? Let's see again. Okay, that already looks better. Never be afraid to go in. Gosh, it looks great all around here too. Yeah, it's not settling in my pores. It looks really pretty. But again, remember, I didn't go too light. If I went too light, you could see little light polka dots collecting in my pores. That's not happening because I chose a slightly deeper formula but I think it looks so good. And then when you tap this out and kind of blend your for me, these are my problem areas, my parentheses, these are my problem areas. This is where my texture is. When you kind of blend that out, then it looks pretty. And do you see how glowy I look? Do you see my lash line? So when you have beautiful skin and beautiful like attention on the eyes, people aren't gonna notice your texture as much. Again, I would not wear this for daytime. I would not wear this to go to the office. But this would be beautiful for an evening event, red carpet event, Zoom. If you had a really important Zoom, this would be beautiful. Okay, love it. I love it. I love it. Now, I did not like their concealer selection, and they were out of all the light shades in a lot of the more ageless formulas. So I went with this Crayon by L'Oreal, and I'm going to have to cut it open because, again, cheap drugstore packaging. It's my main complaint about drugstore. They're cheap packaging. The barcodes, I mean, I get it. You have to have a barcode. The cheap packaging cuts down on the price, you know? We appreciate that. But when I see these cheap barcodes, I'm reminded that it's cheap, and I don't want cheap. I want nice. So I don't know what the answer is. I think the answer is I just have to suck it up and deal with it, because that's how they keep the price low. All right, I got the barcode off at least. I went in with this color. It's kind of peachy. You don't want to go too light under the eyes, because if you go too light, it's going to only enhance everything. This is the True Match, and this is color W45, which means it's like a peachy color. So I'm going to go in. Oh yeah. This is working. Come out here a little bit. I like it because it's not too light. Do you see how that just is taking away, it's taking away that darkness, but it's not going too light. It's not, well, let's do one eye at a time. It's not enhancing anything. I kind of feel like with creams, I was gonna do a brush, and now I'm thinking, no, I know better. Creams blend really well with fingers. If you've ever used the Jones Road pencils, I'll put those on, and then I'll go in with my finger to blend it. And I'm putting it on just so lightly. I'm going over my little veins. Oh yeah. This looks good. Do you see that? It looks good. Again, it looks airbrushed. The trick is not to go too light, see? It might even be slightly deeper and peachier than my under eye. But I promise you, that's what's gonna keep it looking more perfect and more airbrushed and not as textury, and not bringing all the attention to our texture and nooks and crannies, because we're choosing a color that blends in. And see how I'm just patting it in with my, you could use your ring finger or your pinky finger. They always say use the ring finger, but I think that looks great. Oh my gosh, it looks so good. Now, you know what I'm gonna do before I do any powder? I'm gonna lock it in with setting spray. I could not find a setting spray at the drugstore. I do have a Milani, and I have, I think, a NYX, but this is L'Oreal. No, you know what? I'm gonna be fair to you. Hold on. Okay, it's the Milani Make It Last Dewy. Now this is not a dewy foundation, but I really want to use my Cali Ray, but to be fair, I want you to be able to find a good setting spray at the drugstore or Ulta. Milani's great, and they do have a matte formula, and they do have just a regular formula, and this is dewy because of course I always want to look juicy like a glazed donut. But the reason I want to put this on now is I want to lock all this in, and then I'm going to strategically powder only where I need it. And I'm going to try not to get it all over my hair. Okay, let's see. Now, normally what I would want to do is I would want to go in with this and a little bit of my Stands Out sponge, but I don't know where my Stands Out sponge is. So I'm gonna lightly, what I'm doing is I spray on the back of my hand, and then I'm going over my under eyes just so lightly. Real lightly. You don't want to pick it back up. You don't want to disrupt it. L'Oreal didn't have one. Otherwise, I would have bought a L'Oreal setting spray. They were out of a lot of stuff at CVS, but I think that's a sign of the times. I think women want drugstore. I love it. I'm excited. Okay, so this feels beautiful. I always take you want to make sure your skin is absolutely dry before you put even a trace of powder, or it's going to create almost like a makeup batter on your face, like a pancake batter, and you don't want that. So I like to do setting spray first, then I do powder. Okay, and L'Oreal didn't have powder, so we're gonna do e.l.f. because I'm gonna keep it drugstore for you. I could have used my Givenchy. Look, could have used my favorite powder in the world, but we're bougie on a budget. And we're gonna use what am I trying to say? We're gonna use, okay, here's what I'm looking for. These BK Beauty brushes by Nikki LaRose. You know her, Nikki Rose, here on YouTube. I found her through Susan Yara, but Nikki came out with gorgeous brushes with BK Beauty, and they were in a set, and starting, I think on the 18th, they're gonna be available in a single. And what I like about this is called, I think, the small multitasker. See how small it is? So what we can do is, because it's small, we can go in and just go right where we need it. So a little bit here. I always like to get the pores around my nose. That's it. I'm not going in the parentheses. And then I like a little bit in the temples so that my hair doesn't stick to my face. Now, because this is tiny, which I love and I highly recommend it, but I need a slightly bigger powder brush because I'm going to do my cheeks, because we are not doing cream blush. We're doing powder blush. Who's this? So this is, again, the True Match. I've never used this. And this is color Tender Rose. It's so pretty. It reminds me of a Lancome. You know, L'Oreal and Lancome are the same company. So I love it. I'm gonna take, just why not use the same brush? And do you see how I kind of roll it? And then we're gonna start kind of right here. The blush at the Golden Globes was pretty subtle. Like I was kind of surprised. I thought maybe I'd see more blush, but it was really very, very subtle. See how subtle that is? And when you see celebrities, they have blush in their apple, but a little bit higher, and you don't see it like taken all the way back here, and they don't wrap it around the eye. That's just not natural in person. And I see a lot of social media people telling you to wear it high and high on the outside. That looks so dated. That's so Donna Mills and Golden Girls. So you don't want to take it too high. You don't want to take it too far back, because you want it to look pretty. When you smile, you want it to be pretty from every angle. No one's just looking at you like this. Okay, so that is Tender Rose, and that is major subtle. Look how subtle that is. There was not a lot of color at the Golden Globes. I want to show you something I got at CVS. I'm not going to use it today, but I might use it this weekend, and then I'll put it in my Monday review for the next 2 weeks. This is a Voluminous, which is my favorite mascara. The Voluminous Brown Balm Mascara. 7 times fuller lashes, volume and care, clean from parabens and mineral oil. I thought that's perfect for mature eyes. So I'm gonna use that this weekend because I'm doing a peel on my face, so I'm not gonna be able to wear makeup for about 4 days. Okay, and then I don't think I'm doing, maybe I'll do a little bronzer in the end. Okay, this is L'Oreal, and this is color, I don't know what that says. I don't know. It's number 110. It's number 110. Oh, this is pretty. Oh, you know what I could do? I could do the brown balm on my lower lashes only because I have lash extensions on. Oh, you guys, I'm loving this makeup. I'm loving this makeup. Okay, what do we think for lips? I love this formula. This is my favorite drugstore lipstick, the L'Oreal. I think it's L'Oreal Infallible too. So I have, let's see. That might be a little too mauve for me. Might be a little, it's pretty though. This is, ooh, that's pretty. This one here, that reminds me a little bit of my Mob M93. Okay, and then we're gonna do, oh, this is too dark and too blue. It's too dark and too blue for me, but gosh, this is pretty. This is a beautiful, it looks warm in the camera, but it's really more plummy. This is number 143 in Le Mauve. It's called Le Mauve, 143 Le Mauve. I would put that definitely on my summers or winters in my chair that wanted a real pretty soft mauve-y lip. This one is 103. 103. They go on brighter than they look. I might do 103. Now when I tell you, do you see how I'm just doing this? I don't want it too thick. Because if it's too thick, it can easily come off. Oh, that's pretty. Now, some of you might not like that visible line that you see, but that's when you go back in with the pencil. And you blend. See how I'm blending the pencil so you don't see like a line? When I tell you these lipsticks stay on so well, I'm not exaggerating. That is pretty. Pretty, pretty, pretty. My favorite mascara from L'Oreal is Telescopic. I just love it. I love Telescopic. I love this unique, look at that. It can be thin or thick. It just really lifts those lashes. I love Telescopic. I'm gonna do a little gloss because I did see glossy, balmy lips. Ooh, what an interesting wand. Oh, I love this wand. Do you see how it's got two little divots to hold the product? That is unique. That is so pretty. That is color. This is the L'Oreal. Oh my gosh. It's killing me. I have no idea what color this is. Oh, sorry. Pristine Pink, number 30. Pristine Pink, and it comes in this. You know I got to take that barcode off because this looks high end to me. Here we go. Can't stand the barcode. Can't stand it. Cute. Okay. Happy with the eyes. Love the eyes. Love the brows. The skin is skinning. I love the subtle blush. Love the lips. What do we think? I think I might need a tiny, tiny bit of bronzer for a little bit of depth. Gotta use the e.l.f. L'Oreal did not have any bronzer, none. Ideally, I would have liked a cream, none. And I went to 2 stores to look for L'Oreal. I wasn't just in one. I was in Ulta and I was in CVS because I had to pick up my prescription. Okay, so I'm gonna take this little BK Beauty brush. This is 109. Look at it. I love that it's stacked, but it's dense. I'm gonna take a little bit of e.l.f. Sorry, I'm not using L'Oreal. Just a little bit. And we're gonna just go the top of the forehead where we would get a little bit of sun. And we're gonna add a little bit of that dimension. Sometimes I see women do the whole forehead and then it's weird because then their forehead's dark and the rest of their face isn't, and that looks so odd to my eye. But sometimes I think they just follow trends, or maybe they get carried away and it just blends too low. But do you see how I have a little bit of depth there, but it kind of airbrushes down to this lighter shade, which is my foundation? That's what you want your bronzer to do. You don't want your whole forehead bronzed. So bizarre to me. And then we're gonna do a tiny, tiny bit, not going into the temples, but doing almost like a bronzer. See, sculpting the tiniest bit, but still very subtle for a mature woman. And then always go down that jawline with it so that it all ties in together. You can do a little bit under the chin. I like to do a little bit on the lower chin too, just because I have a pointy chin. Can even do a little bit on the nose. Yeah, I have a pointy chin. It was really pointy when I was younger. My husband used to always joke about the McCoy chin because my maiden name's McCoy, but I'd smile and it was really a pointy chin, but it got, you know, I got rounded out as I got older. Okay. And then let's see. I love how that looks. Then you can go back in with your foundation brush and just go down here to make sure you're not seeing any seams. You really want that to all look very airbrushed. Sorry, L'Oreal, I wish I had a bronzer. Let me put my rings back on so I feel a little bit more fancy. Okay. Lastly, we are going to try this because why not? We're here. And I need something on my lower lashes. I don't wear mascara on my lower lashes every day, especially if I'm just home and filming. But I really, really love it for special occasion. So we're going to try it. We're going in with the Voluminous Brown Balm. Here is the brush. Oh, I like to smell mascaras. I know that's weird. It has 0 scent. Okay. Pretty. Very, very, very pretty. Oh my gosh. I'm excited. Are you excited? Let me see. I just want to see. I need a little spoolie. See how I'm going on the tips of my lashes and taking off any excess? And when you look at it close up, it's darker than I thought it would be. I thought it would be a lighter brown. It's not, it's dark brown. But dark brown's very pretty on mature women because it does not look spidery. I love this. I love this. What do you think? I feel so beautiful. I never wear powder blush, ever. And I don't know if you can see, but this has like a radiance pearl built into it. Let's see how it looks close up. It doesn't look like I have a powder sitting on top of my face. It looks like it's a glow that's built in. It's just like a light pearl radiance. Do you see that? Let's look at the concealer. The concealer is not budging. It is not budging. It is not in any of my creases. It looks smooth. Did we just find a great concealer from the drugstore? True Match. This one was kind of peachy. It's warm, I think 4.5, warm 4.5. Here it is. See, it's right, where is it? Right here, it's right here on this tendon. Kind of peachy yellow. But it looks so good. It looks airbrushed. Do we want a little bit through here? Well, it doesn't do anything there. Okay. You saw it here. You cannot tell me this does not look as good as Chanel or Dior or YSL. You cannot tell me that. And close up, it just looks so beautiful. Let me know in comments if you've tried any of these products. Let me know in comments if there's anything you saw today where you're like, oh, I want to try that. And then what should we try next week? Because we're bougie on a budget, so we got to stick to drugstore. I did e.l.f. the first Saturday. Second Saturday, this is L'Oreal. We have 2 more Saturdays. What shall we do? Catrice. I have a lot of Catrice. I love Wet n Wild. I don't love CoverGirl. I have a lot of Maybelline. Anyway, you tell me. I'm here for you. But anyway, thank you for watching. And this is how to achieve special occasion makeup and still look very young and beautiful close up on a budget. I'm glad you're here. I'll see you next week. Bye for now.